Well, finally got back from the USA recently, and it's given me a couple of days to digest what I saw at the USA's PGA merchandise show. What an amazing spectacle and an advertisement for the game of golf in general. When you go there, it's quite overwhelming, the size and the magnitude of all the different suppliers that are on display there, showing their wares, showing all the new equipment that's coming out for the coming year. So it was a privilege to go there, and of course went there with South African Super Sport to create something very special and give some enlightenment to South African golfers with regard to what's coming out in the coming year. So we saw all the regular equipment manufacturers. Titleist was amazing, a massive stand, hugely professional, great array of product as always, the balls, the gloves, the caps, the bags, and of course the amazing equipment. And that was complemented by a range of wedges, and what a privilege to have the opportunity to chat to Bob Vokey, one of the legends of golf equipment design. And then the new drivers, and then their tour representation is so strong. You know, of course we had Max Homa in South Africa just a few months ago winning the Nedbank Golf Challenge, a Titleist player and a very accomplished one. We moved on to Ping. Wow, Ping is always exciting for me. And just to rewind the tape slightly, back in '93 I went to Ping. I happened to get to the Ping factory in Phoenix where I met Karsten Solheim, and what an amazing experience that turned out to be. He spent the whole day with me. It was like being his grandson, and he took me to his golf course. We went into the vault where any player in the world using Ping, when they win a Ping tournament, they get a gold-plated putter, one for them and one that goes into the vault. So you can imagine that vault is quite substantial. What an amazing day that was. And now to have the opportunity to chat to his grandson, John Solheim, who is now the CEO of the company, and he gave us insights into some of their new products. Of course, the new driver, unbelievable. They've got a great range of putters, which we'll be showing you. And then the one thing that strikes me about Ping is the family. You know, not only is it a family business, but everybody, when you think about Ping players, they've all stayed within that family. Lee Westwood's been with Ping forever. Louis Oosthuizen, Jimenez, been there for a long time. And then some of our young players on the tour, James Hart to play, I beg your pardon, and of course Wilco Ninoma. So Ping have that influence on people. Then we went across to, well, my favorites, Srixon, XXIO and Cleveland, all under the same banner. And Cleveland has really changed their attitude towards what they're pushing out. So Cleveland, historically amazing golf equipment. Then they went into the wedges, and they've really secured their position in the world with the most unbelievable wedges. That wedge range is now being extended into things that can help the average golfer. There's a game improvement wedge. I mean, there's a 64-degree wedge, to be honest. You just have to look at the ball, it gets up in the air. It's unbelievable. But I suppose the thing that was great for me was XXIO and the story behind XXIO. So for a lot of us, it took us a long time to be able to say XXIO. So XXIO, which is XXI, which represents the Roman numerals for 21st century, and then O, which is in Japanese, is a reflection on leadership. So effectively saying the leader in the 21st century, and I can tell you that really is true, because their product is amazing. It really is for those golfers like me that are starting to lose a little bit of distance, a little bit of strength. They're slightly lighter, very easy to get the ball in the air, and unbelievable for ladies. So that was exciting for me. We moved through the clothing, the shoes, the amount of shoes, the different shoes, and the technology that's now embedded in shoes was amazing. Probably, you know, FootJoy is always a good one. Puma make amazing shoes. We saw those. Under Armour on the back of that legend now, Jordan Spieth, and his input into the technology. But then you go into a new shoe that we haven't seen in South Africa. We'll be seeing it soon, called Painter. And there's a lovely story. Wait for Super Sport to see that one. Then you go into the peripheral things there, which was unbelievable. The golf carts. You know, a couple of years ago, I think my last time at the show was in 2020. And at that time, cannabis-infused products, sun creams and so on, was the flavor of the month. But this year, golf carts and simulators. You know, it's a crazy stat that in the world, a vast majority of people are playing off course. They're playing on driving ranges, the likes of Top Golf. They're playing in simulators, and only half of the people are playing on golf courses. So the simulator business, the gadget business, the measuring business, that was very, very significant at the show and very interesting. Some of that won't make it. I sat on a golf cart that you might have seen, $36,000 for a golf cart. This thing was a beast, but somebody's going to buy it. And then we went through some of the enhancements, the fitness programs. There's a wonderful product there called the Stack System. We're going to see that in South Africa. It's the ability to teach yourself to swing the club a little harder and start regenerating some of that speed you might have lost. So look out for the Stack System. I thought that was really exciting for me. Another element of going to the show, of course, is to meet so many wonderful people. There's a gentleman who heads up Duca del Cosmo. Frank, he owns the company. He's 80 odd years old. He's the most passionate man, and you'll see in his presentation how he just loves life, and it percolates down into the product that they deliver around the world, a beautiful golf shoe. So clothing was just off the charts, as it always is. Unfortunately for us in South Africa, clothing is getting a little expensive. Our rand is not doing that great. But Booyah Clothing, wow. South African company, two young guys that from Pretoria have decided to develop a brand, beautiful fabrics, some funky colors, great range of hats, trousers, belts. They've got everything, and they've launched into America, and that's always the acid test. If you can make it in America, you can make it anywhere in the world. They're making it in South Africa. Look out for Booyah Clothing. Wonderful, wonderful brand. And I suppose for the rest, just seeing some of my old mates. Peter Becker, who used to be the professional here at Silver Lakes. Peter Becker, we had dinner with him. What a great character, and still loving life in America. We had dinner with John Simpson, who was a gentleman who managed Dale Hayes, and interestingly told me a lot of stories about Dale, which I'm be sure to tell you over the next couple of weeks. And then Ian James, who was very, very involved and still involved in the communication of golf around the world. Lovely to see Ian James along with a host of other people. We're going to be drip feeding some of this into the market over the next couple of weeks and days. And if you're in South Africa, look out for Super Sport. At the end of February, you'll get much further insight into the generation of new equipment coming into South Africa in the next couple of months. Stay with us, and if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to my channel. See you soon.